13th of March 2022. She can hear the sea, the waves breaking, bashing onto the stones, then dragging them into the sea. She's been drinking. She can feel it in her head, the throbbing. The pain is breaking through her, pulling at her hair and what's under her scalp, then receding, pulling again and receding. It's dreadful. She can't open her eyes. She won't open them. She doesn't want to see where she is, what she's done, how far she's fallen. Jesus, again. She's afraid to move, even an inch, to discover what she's done. She's damp, wet, lying on a beach in her piss. She's not cold though, she knows that. She's not lying on the ground, she's covered. Her head though, the pain, the punishment. She can't taste anything. The drink the night before isn't in her mouth. The sea, it isn't the sea, it's her, Paula, her breathing. She sounds like the tide. She knows the words, swash and backwash. She remembers them from school, more than 50 years ago. The in and out of the waves. That's the noise that's coming from her. She's in bed, her bed, in her own room. She hasn't opened her eyes, but she knows, despite the waves, despite the sea. She's in her bed. She wants to cry, relief, shame pushed back. She won't have to find her way home, stagger along the streets outside. She's home. She can feel it, the light against her eyelids. It's the afternoon, the early afternoon. It's the light that comes through the curtains at the front of the house on a sunny day in spring. She can't be anywhere else. She's happy. There's a skewer being pushed into her head and out and back in. It's being twisted behind her eyes. The pain spreads out and stays. She's happy. She stays still, absolutely still. Her head is off the pillow. The pillow is behind her head. She can feel it, almost cuddling her, holding her head in place like hands, telling her not to move. She should be worried, and she is. She's definitely worried. She can hardly breathe. She's pulling in air through layers of wet cloth. She's not gasping though, as long as she stays still. She's hot, wet hot. She doesn't know how she got here. Nothing comes back. It's her own bed, so there's no big story. There can't be. It's not a nap though. She didn't come upstairs for a snooze. She still hasn't opened her eyes. Her breathing will become a problem if she moves. She knows that. If she moves, even just opens her eyes, she has to stay absolutely still. It's a test, a challenge. She can't hear a thing except a swash and backwash. She'll need water. She's thirsty, but she won't move. Swash and backwash, deciduous and coniferous, pelagic and demersal, urban and rural, igneous and sedimentary, and metamorphic. She doesn't remember liking geography. She doesn't remember learning the words, but there they are, in a queue, keeping her company. She mustn't have been as thick as they told her she was, as thick as she'd always thought she was, knew she was, thought she was. Pelagic and demersal. She can't remember which is which, deep water or shallow, oily or white flesh. She's a feeling demersal are deep and oily, good for the heart. The pelagics must be shallow and white so, good for fuck all. She's amazed at herself, she's not panicking. She's doing exactly what she should be doing. If she moves, she'll drown. She has no intention of moving. The way she's lying there, it's lovely. In her bed, in daylight, protected by the pillow. She could stay like this forever. She could die this way. The thought doesn't scare her, although she doesn't want to die. Her kids, their names and their faces fall on her, gently, and the grandkids, all the faces, especially the childhood faces, the babies, the toddlers, the first day at school. It's not a blizzard, it's nice. No tears or bruises or terror. Nicola is in the house, downstairs. It's coming back. Paul is not alone. Nicola is downstairs. That face isn't a snowflake landing gently on Paula's cheek. The blotches, the anger, the dull eyes. Poor Nicola, stranded with her mother for nearly a year. Poor Paula, stranded with your woman downstairs.